Last week's video was about all the exterior mods. Now we're gonna do all of the interior mods on the 2011 Tacoma. It is the base model, so let's see what we got going on. So we can start with the radio, and I think I did a video on this like a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. And this one is the Q03 Pro. Now, this radio is like pretty legit. I haven't had any like problems with this thing at all since I've installed it, and I had a couple people ask me, and there's literally nothing I can complain about with this thing. Obviously it has Apple CarPlay, which is what we're looking at right now, and it also has like, this is wireless Apple CarPlay, and it is a 10-inch screen from corner to corner. And what I like about it is the fact that it has the Android base in it, like how it's made from Android. It's just a tablet, and when you're going off-roading, you can download maps from Google Maps, and you can be able to get there even if you have no cell phone service to show you where you are on the map. You still have that downloaded map in the system, so you can potentially make it through trails and know your GPS location if you need to call for help. This thing has been awesome. Another interior mod we got going on right here is the pedal commander. If you own a Tacoma, you know these things are required, not desired, required. This, I mean, I end up getting mine off a Facebook Marketplace for like, I think $150, which is half price. So I jumped on that, and it's been great. Here in SoCal, I went to Big Bear at the end of last year, 2022, and getting up that mountain, this thing sure helped out a lot. And I have mine ran like behind the steering column, just above the keys down to the pedal, and I just 3M taped it to there since I don't have 4x4. This takes place in my 4x4 toggle switch. And down here we see this wire. This wire is just for a dash cam that I put in. This dash cam does interior and exterior, as I just turned it off by touching the cord. But that's what that's for. Now this wire coming out is if I wanted to do wired CarPlay with that radio, but I mean, I never really use it that often, only if I need to charge my phone. But also you can see right down there that I have a Midland, and this is the I guess you want to call it GMRS or ham radio, and this thing is awesome. I mean, I started with a Bofang, and if you ever been off-roading, usually you have like GMRS radios because the range is way better. And the Bofang, I noticed that I'm always having to make sure the batteries are charged, because if you don't use it for a while, say like a month or two, and you go to try and use it even though you know that the batteries were fully charged, it's not gonna work. Like, it'll say fully charged, but it'll last for like 10 minutes. I've had that issue so many times. I even tried using the cigarette lighter battery that they sell on Amazon, but I mean, it's just, you have to have it plugged in a certain area, and it has to be, like when you go to pull the radio to talk, it could pull the cord out of the cigarette lighter. I've had that happen to me before. Now with this base station right here, the Midland base station, it's mounted up in there, and I mean, I just chose that location because I can still use the compartment below it without it being in the way, and it's not like in the way of my leg when I'm trying to drive. A lot of people put them on this side or on that side, but I have a oil gauge over there, which I'll get to, and I just store the mic in the middle console, so whenever I'm ready to use it, I'll just pull it out and plug it in and go. And then up here above the radio, I have this what they call a dash top mount. Now this flips up or goes anywhere. It's basically on a ball. If I wanted to like mount my phone or whatever to it, It's a big I think this one is a 3-inch magnet. They also have a 4-inch magnet, which is bigger than this, and these things are super strong. But the dash top mount allows you to put in, I think, up to 5 accessories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accessories. So these little holes is where you can screw in these little attachments. And this dash top mount did come from Taco Garage here in San Diego, California, but they also have a website. I'm almost positive it's just tacogarage.com. But for the 2nd gens, they sell this. For the 3rd gens, they sell it. And this dash top mount is, I mean, it's awesome, and it's pretty inexpensive. It's like $30 for the mount, but if you want to buy all of your accessories is when you start paying however much you want to pay. So over here I have a little 17mm ball that I just screwed straight into the dash top mount from whatever, I guess, attachment it came to. It had like a little swivel arm like the one you get from Walmart or something like that. And then I just used this little 2-inch magnetic mount, and I put a little 2-inch magnetic plate on the back of my mic mount for the Midland, and I just stick it up there, and that's where I put my mic whenever I'm going off-roading. And then this radio, I'll just take it and slide it down a little bit because I'm not really worried about my hazards or time. I'll just slide the radio down a smidget and have access to these things. Next, I guess we can go over the oil gauge since we talked on it before. So this is an aftermarket oil gauge that I put in. I got it from O'Reilly's, I think. It is the Equus brand gauge, but I mean, you can get those from literally anywhere. O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, they all usually have these gauges. And I just got this little 1 gauge pod off of Amazon because it came in a 3 gauge pack. And I just use this one because I have a 2011, but it's a 2.7 liter. When you're off-roading, I just like to monitor the oil pressure, so you know I'm not blowing anything up. I only have a 2-wheel drive, so that puts a lot of stress on the motor and the drivetrain and all that, because I mean, I go places where I really shouldn't go, but I end up making it out. I did have this gauge right here plugged in, which was another gauge from Amazon, and it plugs into your OBD port. And I was using it for a while until I got this radio right here, and it has the OBD reader built in with all the gauges that I was using that for. Now, I'll just go ahead and start it up again. And if you give it a second to pair, you can see how it's trying to pair with the ECU, and it just paired in with the ECU. So now I use these are all my real-time gauges right here that I watch for whenever I'm traveling or driving. And I have not gotten my speedometer calibrated yet for running bigger tires than stock. So I have my speed difference right here in miles per hour. So it basically tells me from GPS tracking my speed that what the difference is between the speed it says and what speed I'm actually going. And it's not big numbers, so you're able to calculate it like pretty fast. If it's like, it'll show like 4 miles per hour, and that means that you're going 4 more than what it shows. So like if it says 51 and it says 4, that means you're really going 55. And I mean, this is useful. You can add all different kind of gauges that you want to add. These blank pages can be more gauges that you can add. If you can see that the bottom 2 pages are blank and there's nothing in there. But yeah, I mean, I love this thing. I mean, I'm not gonna be doing any quarter-mile timesheets or whatever, because it's probably gonna be like 25 seconds in this damn thing. But yeah, that's why I no longer use that thing anymore, and I just stick to this. Let me see, what else can I go over up here? Oh, This light, I got this one from I think I want to say it was Hooke Road, which is the same brand as the roof rack. So up here I have all of my patches, and that's just from all over, you know, wherever I've gone, or just things from over time also. So are all my patches up there. I guess that's an interior mod. And then I think we can just go ahead and move to the back seat. Other than my carbon fiber what do you call it, like shift knob, that's another Amazon find. It was like $30. It's a carbon fiber over aluminum. So I mean, it is an overlay with an epoxy finish, but it works out for me. Another interior mod that I have up front, and let me just go ahead and shut this off. It's making too much. Another interior mod that I have up front is my switch panel, and this switch panel is also by Hooke Road. And only reason what makes this a Hooke Road switch panel is that it mounts in this factory fuse box area. Now before, it just had this little drawer, or I guess like little compartment that goes there, this little compartment right here, and I took that compartment out and this thing fits in there. Now it has these little four screws right here. So this one, actually the bottom was not in there, but these four swivel screws, you just loosen them up and then you slide it down or up, whichever. This case is down. They're all down. Just slide them down and this panel drops out and you can access all your fuses. Now this switch panel, you see the top left one says air, which I'll get to that in a little bit. And from the exterior videos, I showed you guys the bumper light bar that I had that was like the Cali Rep, and my ditch lights and the rear lights with the 5 different modes on it. So that's all I have on it right now. But that is another one of my interior mods up front. Also know you guys may have noticed this, but and I didn't mention it, that is I have seat covers on these seats. Now these seats are all usually the same color as the back, that gray color, but I have the back seat washing right now because, you know, that's where if the kids aren't back there making them dirty, then the dog gets back there and gets hair all over everything. So I have them washing right now, but they're the same as the front. Now the rear also does that 60-40 split. So it splits right down the middle, and you can operate the seats normally. So you can lift up the bottom, you can pull down the back, and it operates normally just like these front seats. Like these front seats can still lean back and forward and still slides without any issues. And the install is pretty clean for what they are. I got them on Amazon for like $40. I've had them for like 2 years, and it's just now starting to show signs of wear. Just now after 2 years. So they're pretty strong. And one more thing I forgot about, underneath the seat, that I added a lock box. I mean, I do conceal carry, and there's some places I just don't prefer to take my weapon in, so I have this lock box tethered to the seat mount underneath there. So even like while you're camping or something, if you have like your wallet and your car keys or something like that, if you want to use a lockbox to put them away, you can do that. I got this from Harbor Freight for like $30. Now I know people sell like boxes that goes in your middle console, and it end up turning the middle console into a safe box, but I use my middle console and not everything in there needs to be locked, so this is just a better alternate option for me. Okay, moving to the back seat. Back here, I try to keep it simple because I do have kids, and this is a daily driven truck, so I try to keep it super simple back here. Below the passenger seat is CB radio that I used to run. Again, kids trash. CB radio that I used to run. I mean, it's just sitting up there right now for for storage, and I have this other little panel that's supposed to go like pretty much on the back of one of your seats, but I have it sitting on the front of this seat because it just like it hangs down because of the way these seats are designed. So I just found it better useful to put it up on this seat like that. And passenger side underneath is just, you know, normal how it comes with the jack and everything you need for to change your spare tire. Now with the radio, I do have these two, I guess 10-inch subwoofer. Yeah, they're 10-inch subwoofers that goes behind the seats. Now a lot of people don't like the way that this mounts. I like it because it's practical, and I have children, so it's out of the way and it's not like on the floor or anything, so you don't lose any leg room in the front or in the back. So behind the seat, I sacrificed those two storage bins, which, I mean, I'm not going to use them that much anyway. So there's one behind the passenger seat and there's one behind the driver's side seat. And I mean, I did all of this myself anyway, so it works for me. I got this off of Amazon when it was like $150. And for that $150, you got the speakers, the subwoofers, the box, and the terminals that's on it. So you just have to wire them yourself to the terminals. But yeah, I mean, that was a steal. Now they're like $400 to $500 for this speaker combo. I end up getting that amp, which is, I usually don't cheap out on car audio, but I end up getting this amp from I think it was AutoZone, and it's a 600 watt 2-channel amp. And this thing has been proven to me. Usually I didn't think these things were going to be that good because it's from AutoZone and it's a dual amp, and dual usually has a bad rap. But I mean, I haven't had a single issue. It doesn't get hot. I don't have any scares of it melting wires or pulling too many ohms or running unstable or anything like that. Everything has been checking out for the past couple years. So I mean, I would recommend it, to be honest. I've had no issues out of the past couple years out of that. And moving over to the driver's side. Now, if you remember, I had a button on my switch panel that said compressor. Now, a lot of people mount their compressors underneath the hood, but I end up mounting mine underneath the seat on the driver's side, just because it works out for me way better to have it like that. And there's the compressor. Lifting up the seat on the driver's side exposes the compressor that I have installed. And if you look at the front of the compressor, it says Pittsburgh. So yes, this thing came from Harbor Freight, and it came with this hose that's connected to it now, and its own proprietary hose that was on it. But it was, I mean, it's fine, but it doesn't reach all 4 tires like I would want it to. So I put this I think it's 1/8 inch. Hold on. No, it's a 1/4 inch MPT T on it, and it has 2 females and 1 male. Now on the second female side, I have a pressure switch that turns off at 120 PSI because it's 150 PSI pump, and it turns back on at 90 PSI. So whenever the pressure in the line bleeds down past 90 PSI, it'll kick the compressor back on, just so that the compressor isn't running like constantly and burning itself up. Now over here on the male side, I have the quick disconnect, so I can plug in the hose right there and run the hose to all of the tires. Now this thing isn't bolted down in there, and it does move a little bit, but it hasn't, like, while I'm driving, it hasn't moved at all, like, ever. I never hear this thing moving back here. And just have the wires coming out and running to the switch panel. So that is my compressor setup, which is not really much of a compressor. It says that it's a heavy duty tire inflator, but it works for me. Budget friendly, very budget friendly. I think it was like 50 or 60 bucks for this compressor, and it works. It probably takes like 6 to, depending on what you air down to. I usually air down to like 15, between 15 and 20 psi, and I'm only airing down the rear because it's only 2-wheel drive. But it takes about maybe 5 minutes between both tires to get them from 15 to about 35 to 40 psi. Pretty much wraps up today's video. Now, if there's any like mod that I showed that you guys want me to do a separate video about, I can do that. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of videos on YouTube about Midlands and all that stuff, but there's something that I had in my rig that you guys want me to do a separate video about, that I can do that later down the line. Just leave a comment. That's all for today.